Have you ever heard of the time when a football team turned a hostage crisis into an unexpected victory? In 1996, the Madagascan football team as Adema found themselves in a bizarre situation during a match against Solomern. Due to a refereeing decision that the Solomern coach deemed unfair in a previous game, the team decided to protest in the most unusual way possible. As the whistle blew, Solomern players began scoring own goals deliberately, one after another. The perplexed audience watched in astonishment as the scoreboard kept ticking, ending with an unprecedented and surreal scoreline of 149-0. The spectators, initially confused, soon caught on to the protest, turning their frustration into a carnival of disbelief. As Adema, equally bewildered, stood by as unwitting participants in what became the highest-scoring game in football history. This jaw-dropping act of defiance remains one of the most peculiar and unforgettable moments in sports history. Have you ever heard of the Battle of Santiago? It was a match so wild that even the referee had to fight to maintain control. The year was 1962, and Chile was hosting the World Cup. On June 2nd, Chile faced Italy in a group stage match that quickly descended into chaos. From the outset, tensions were sky-high, fueled by inflammatory remarks from Italian journalists about Chile's socio-economic conditions. Within 12 seconds, the first foul was committed, setting the tone for what was to come. Punches were thrown, players were kicked off the field, and even the police had to intervene multiple times. English referee Ken Aston, who would later invent the yellow and red card system, struggled to maintain order. The match ended 2-0 in favor of Chile, but it's not the scoreline that people remember, it's the unrestrained aggression and the sheer spectacle of a football match that felt more like a gladiatorial combat. This match is often cited as one of the most violent in World Cup history, a stark reminder of how passion can sometimes boil over. What if I told you that in 1992, an entire nation celebrated as Denmark, who hadn't even qualified, went on to win the European Championship? The story begins with a political twist as Yugoslavia, embroiled in civil war, was disqualified just days before the tournament. Denmark, the standby team, received an unexpected call to arms. The Danish players, many on holiday, hastily regrouped, with star player Michael Laudrup notably missing, having opted out of the squad. Against all odds and with little preparation, they faced football giants and defied expectations. With each match, the tension and disbelief grew, culminating in a dramatic final against reigning champions Germany. Denmark's defense was impregnable, and their counterattacks lethal. John Jensen and Kim Vilford scored the decisive goals, sealing a 2-0 victory. The Danish fairy tale was complete. Against all odds, they were crowned European champions, a testament to the unpredictable magic of football. What if I told you a football team once staged a heroic act not on the field, but in the heart of a disaster? In 1989, the small Italian town of San Giovanni Valdarno was hit by a devastating flood, leaving its residents in peril. As the waters rose, the local football team, San Giovanni's, found themselves in an unexpected role. Abandoning their training, the players transformed into rescuers, navigating the treacherous currents to save stranded villagers. With no formal training, they formed human chains, ferried supplies, and even carried elderly residents to safety on their backs. The team's captain, Alessandro, became a local hero, diving into the murky waters to rescue a child trapped in a car. Their courage and quick thinking saved dozens of lives, turning a group of athletes into legends overnight. This unforgettable act of bravery showed the world that true champions shine brightest off the field. Have you ever heard of the miracle of Castel di Sangro? In 1996, a tiny Italian football club from a village with a population of just over 5,000 achieved the unthinkable. They were promoted to Serie B, Italy's second highest professional league. Castel di Sangro Calcio, a team with no stars and minimal resources, defied all odds and logic, leaving the nation in disbelief. Their journey was fraught with challenges, from financial difficulties to a tragic bus accident that claimed the lives of 2 players. Despite these setbacks, the team showcased unyielding spirit and grit. Fans from the quaint village and beyond rallied behind them, creating a fervor that transcended the pitch. The underdog story of Castel di Sangro is not just about football, it's a testament to human resilience and the power of dreams in the face of insurmountable odds. Who would have thought that a small team from an obscure village could etch their name into the annals of football history? Did you ever hear about the electrifying moment when the entire town of Greenock, Scotland, banded together in 2001 to save their cherished Morton FC from the brink of extinction? Picture this, the heart of the community, a football team teetering on the edge of financial collapse, with fans refusing to let their beloved club dissolve into history. As news of Morton FC's dire situation spread, Greenock's residents sprang into action. Local businesses held fundraisers, fans organized benefit matches and even sold personal belongings to amass the necessary funds. The town's determination was palpable, and their efforts culminated in a nail-biting final push that saw enough money raised to keep the club alive. This extraordinary display of unity and passion not only saved Morton FC but also solidified the town's spirit, proving that in Greenock, football is more than just a game, it's a lifeline that binds the community together. Have you ever heard of the time a dog became the most cherished mascot for a football team? In the 1950s, Huddersfield Town AFC, an English football club, found themselves in a peculiar situation. During one of their home games at Leeds Road, a stray dog wandered onto the pitch, halting the match. Instead of causing chaos, the dog seemed to bring luck. Huddersfield, struggling in the lower rungs of the league, clinched a rare win that day. Fans, charmed by the canine intruder, named him Billy and adopted him as their unofficial mascot. Billy attended every home game, and the team's performance notably improved. Superstition or not, Billy became a local legend, making headlines and boosting the team's morale. His presence was so impactful that when he passed away, the club held a memorial service, and to this day, he remains a beloved figure in Huddersfield's folklore. Have you ever wondered how an underdog team could inspire an entire nation? In 1990, the Cameroonian national football team, known as the Indomitable Lions, delivered a performance that would go down in history. Arriving at the FIFA World Cup in Italy, they were hardly given a chance. But in their opening match against Argentina, the reigning champions led by Diego Maradona, Cameroon stunned the world with a 1-0 victory, thanks to a goal by François Omambiak. As the tournament progressed, they continued to defy the odds, beating Romania and Colombia to reach the quarterfinals, the first African team to do so. Their journey was not just a series of victories, it was a symbol of hope and pride for the African continent. The streets back home erupted in joy, and the players were hailed as national heroes. Even in defeat against England, their spirited performance left an indelible mark, reminding the world that football is not just a game but a powerful unifier. Have you ever wondered what happens when a team's fate hinges on the most unlikely of heroes? Picture this, it's the final day of the 1998-1999 English football season, and Carlisle United are staring relegation in the face. Their goalkeeper is injured, and the clock is ticking down to the final moments. Enter Jimmy Glass, a lone goalkeeper with a history of stepping up in dire situations. As the game reaches its 94th minute, Carlisle earn a last-gasp corner. In a move that defies all logic, Glass abandons his goal to join the attack. The corner is swung in, chaos ensues, and there it is, Glass, with the instincts of a seasoned striker, smashes the ball into the net. The stadium erupts, fans flood the pitch in ecstasy. Against all odds, Glass has saved Carlisle from relegation, etching his name into football folklore with a single, unforgettable kick. Have you ever heard of a football match that brought an entire stadium to tears, not out of defeat, but pure, unadulterated joy? Enter the heartwarming tale of the 1950 World Cup, where the underdog USA team stunned the world by defeating the mighty England 1-0. It was a match that no one expected the Americans to win. They were amateurs and part-timers, some of whom had day jobs as dishwashers and mailmen. The game took place in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, and the goal came from a Haitian-born player named Joe Getchens, a name that would forever be etched in football folklore. The crowd, initially skeptical, erupted in disbelief and celebration as the final whistle blew. England, the inventors of the beautiful game, had been toppled by a team that was given a 500-to-1 chance of winning. It wasn't just a victory, it was a miracle that reminded the world that in football, anything is possible.